Now, the next place I want to take you is, so we're pitching the idea of not just doing a small mini conference here, but we're really talking about, a campus-wide event one day and then 3 days, maybe you end up a whole week. That has the potential to be world class and do a world of good. So the next thing I'm going to do is take you to the demo areas here to show you what we've got planned here. So I'm teleporting you right now to our demo auditorium, and I'll walk right up here. And as soon as I get on the stage, you'll see that I have all this stuff that pops up here in terms of making a presentation. I can close this by hiding the tool and come right up here and look out. And you see I've got these rows of seats here, and that's really neat. Let's get centered here. And I have some really nice controls. So there are multiple tiers. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiers of seating here. I think it's that many. And I can change the number of seats. I can add more seats. I'm adding a whole nother tier. So this goes way, way back. Now, in case I don't have as many people here, because you don't want to have a Barney feeling here, I can just retract the wall and take away a tier of seats at a time and bring it all the way down to the ground floor. Which is really, really powerful. So this is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and at least put 3 tiers up so you can get some idea of the volume here. And then right next to that is a forced seating control. So instead of people just standing around, which puts all out a delay, you can actually turn on forced seating, which puts them in the seat. Nice. And then you have a way to turn on private volume. So that means that just people sitting right next to you, you can hear. Or you can change it to spatialized voice. So the people closer to you, you'll hear, and the ones who are more distal are less discernible. And that's good. And then next to that, I'm going to turn around here. I'll go over here first because I see perspective. I'll turn around. And you see that I have 6 seats here. And so those are seats for if somebody's doing the keynote, and then there are like 6 people that are going to be talking about what you're going to be doing for the whole week, versus their seminars or whatever, or speakers, or you're going to come up to that they can sit there. But in case you don't have that, when I can hide the furniture. And so the furniture can be hidden, or it can appear. And then next to that, we can mute the audience, which means that you won't hear the audience at all, mumbling or chattering, or you can turn it back on. And then over here, I'll turn around here to give you the effect here. And so the effect is presenting, and but I want to really get the mood here, so I'm going to dim the lights. And this is really nice. I'm dimming the lights and seeing now. So notice how some of the advertising is still showing, which could be an interesting way to still have your advertisers pop. I didn't notice that before, but it's kind of nice. So you can also do that. Now, another really cool feature is, say before you've ever been to some of these really nice, really motivational presentations where they just start to play music, to get the people in the mood. Well, there's a DJ booth, so I can click this and turn on, I have a turntable here. So you could be spinning music here and getting people all pumped up and done, or we can have it back, go back to the podium. And there are even stage effects. So say, for instance, you've had a really nice 3-day or week-long event, or even a 1-day event, and people are now converging back here for the final, plenary session here. You can actually turn on stage effects, and we're going to set the celebration. And you notice the balloons that start falling from the ceiling. So this is really rich. I'm going to turn this off, and you'll see that's a really nice celebratory thing to do. So that concludes the group of the whole going this, but now there's going to be maybe some work sessions of people you want working together. So I'm going to take you to the next area that's really a next demo area, which is the demo conference hall. So we're going to teleport you right there. And this is a nice way. So you notice the tables here. There looks like there are 6 plus 8 tables here. And you notice that they're labeled here. And also that when I use my mouse, they light them up. So I had to figure this one out. But say, for instance, someone's presenting and someone raises their hand, and because you hear their voice, you can say, well, listen, I'm on table N. And as a presenter, if I would do like that, that'll get people to face, that and know where this is coming from. So it's a nice way, a nice reference in addition to the sound to know where the questions are coming from. This is really, really nice. So we're looking at different configurations right now. This is the conference tables. You can also have paired tables. If I have to go to the stage to do that. I get the stage controls to work. And I'll turn out here. And you see again, it thinks I'm a presenter, so it gives me presentation tool. But if I go over here now, so these are paired. So this is a table with people across from each other, which is kind of nice doing one-on-one stuff together. This is an educational developed thing. So educators knew how they like to work. This comes out of, I think, UC San Diego organizational development. And there's also, that's the paired partner tables. There's lecture seating, which is kind of interesting, like desks here. And then, of course, there's a table. And then there's even a blank floor in case you want to network here for some reason and do that. I'm going to put it back to the table configuration. You can also, that's a lecture series, but let's go back to the tables with the numbers on them. And then the stage effects, again, has stage effects in terms of a DJ booth. And I've shown you this before, so we don't have to do that again. But this is nice. Also see how you see, if I light the table, you see the letter where it's coming from. See that? Even though you don't see the letter here, it's real nice. I'm going to go ahead down. I'm going to take you to so people are having a break. They're walking around the campus. But the next thing they'll do to go to is the Expo Hall. And so we're going to take you to the Expo Hall. You start to hear footsteps. What are those footsteps? Well, that's actually the footsteps in this video. And I'm going to take you right up here. And somebody's actually done a video of a live show here with avatars walking around and touring the place, give you some sense of what it's like to have this thing fleshed out with people and exhibitors and things like that. I'll zoom back out, and you'll see how that spatial audio will go away as I move. Now you're hearing my footsteps instead of the one on the screen. And look around. This is just the lobby. And you see this wonderful networking area with all these tables and private audio zones here. And look at the wall space that could be potential advertising revenue here. And these are all web screens. And so they're really nice. And those are images. Some of those can have even a link, I believe, that you can click and see some things. And the screens light up if you come close and show you different things. Now let's go right into the actual Expo Hall itself, and I'll show off some of the features here. The first thing that you see here is the convention floor size control. And right now, and they're actually 3 rows deep. The A row is right here, and then the B is right there, so you won't see it right behind you because, in 3D, it's right above your head. But you can change the floor size here. So that's ABC. If I click on the second floor size and hit this and look at these signs up here. So you see ABCD, which is really nice. And then I go to the third floor size, click on this again, and it's going to be ABCDE. And then the last floor size is ABCDF. Takes a while. It's barely discernible here. But this is just gives you some idea of the flexibility here, of the depth of this. So, and it's all the metrics are all worked out. The geography is all worked out. So you don't have to, the layout is just really nice. Now let's go over here and look at some choices here. When I go inside of a booth, then I also get a booth layout here, control. And right now, I think these are 2 small booths. If I click on this, I'll get mixed booth, a mixed booth look. And if I click on here, I'll get medium booths, which is almost the same, a little bit different. And then I can even change this to a reception area. Really nice configuration here in terms of this. Now let's walk out here and I'll show you another neat feature here. So now this is a large booth configuration. Think of this as something that you would present to a major sponsor who really wants a good presence for the money. And if you click in here, you'll see I have another booth layout here that's related to this. So right now, if I change this, right now it's a large booth, okay? But if I go to small booths, it automatically takes a whole block of that island, cuts it up. So we have, looks like these 4 booths on this side, and there are 4 booths on another side, back to back. And that's just nice. And, or we set it up, this is to mix booths. So these are less size, there's 3 mixed booths. And then there's this size, and there's a large size too. The large booth gives you this. And the banners up here, the banner advertising is just gorgeous here. So this is all changeable. You can click on this, on these areas. You see here, I clicked on it and put your logo information up there, even an image that can launch a browser link. So I will just, I'll cancel this because I don't want to take that down. So, and you can see I have 2 demo tables here with 4 chairs each. And so this is a very, very, very elegant booth that can be easily configured. The configure booths is really easy. You can right click on the images and put your own stuff there in the web browser. So it's really rapid. And think of the cost. If you are a physical world company that has been in physical world shows, you know how much it costs. I mean, the tremendous cost, the first of all, buying or designing a booth, paying for the transportation to that booth to various locations around the planet, the staffing costs, and then you've got to pay the venue, you've got to pay for, if you're doing the floor, you got to pay for booth space, Wi-Fi, tables, chairs, every imaginable way to charge you, they have figured out in order for you. Electricity, you want you want electricity. Oh, that's another cost. And so that's good. Now I'm going to take you down one more place to, and I can jog, by the way, by holding my shift button down. And you see there's some small islands here that are quite nice. Oops, I'm disoriented here. And those are all have private zones here. So this is a good way for smaller exhibitors who can afford that kind of booth space. Or it could be a company that has several departments, and still wants to do stuff. It doesn't want to spend as much money for larger booths and all that. Now I want to go to one more thing here. I'm gonna set my icon here and quickly jog down that way. By the way, if someone clicks on you, they can actually follow you, so you can tour people, and they don't have to steer themselves. They'll just follow wherever you're going. The software will have them linked to you, and they're following you. So I'm going up here and slow down a little bit. And so I'm over here, and say, let's just do this, something obvious here. So say you're here and one of your clients says, "Hey, Art, I'm here. Where are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm up on the balcony. Where are you?" I said, "I'm in the Expo Hall over there near the Virbela booth. The one with the big logo on it, the blue background." I said, "Yeah, I see that." I said, "I'll see you over there. Just wait here. I'll meet you right there." So all I need to do is plant my icon right there on the corner of that booth. And then this creates a path for me. And it got me there, didn't it? I think it did. So anyway, you get the idea here. I was just really so close to it here, I didn't see where I was going here. But that's the idea. There it is. There's the booth. I was actually there, I was so close. So that will give you some idea. So now you say, okay, well, wait a minute, Johnson, what about technical support? This is all fantastic, but I got a bunch of people who've never been on Virbela, and I got people that have, maybe done some conference work here, but most of us has just been exhibitors maybe at the max here. And now you're having us, run the whole show. What can you do for us here? So that's a good way to take you to another demo area. And that's the Demo Support Center. And you see this, and this is really neat. So over here is a IT questions, take a number, and over here is application questions. How do I use this? How do I do this? And there might be a person here to direct you here. But look at how the scale of this in terms of the number of support people. So if you had an international event, you could have, you could have people in different languages even here supporting. By the way, you can actually have different floors. Say you could have a French floor and a Portuguese floor and a English floor, Spanish floor, Japanese floor, Chinese floor, depending on the scale of the event that you want to do. So you can do some massive events. So that's one thing. Now, what about the training? And so over here, you go here, you see this boardroom actually has another kind of a networking area, like I just showed you on my own suite. But this is right here in the training support center. And again, we have a really nice classroom here that can do the training here and the planning of this. So we have all these different layouts here. Again, we have the large table here, so we can, train the trainers and talk about how we're going to do all this together. And then we can do a small conference here, with this. So you can see it's lush in terms of this. I'll put this back to the classroom layout here with the desks here. So you get some idea of this is a good place to stop and stop my share. So we're really ecstatic about this. We're really ecstatic about the possibility of connecting with you as well and learning about some of the things on your mind. I know that any sentient being here cares about climate change and taking meaningful climate action, particularly if you're a large enterprise with a global operation and a huge carbon footprint, and you want to go beyond the stage of being accused of greenwashing. You actually want to do some things that could not only do well for the planet, but do well for the company in terms of radically reducing the cost of your transportation, your architecture, your trade show conference events, the training and empowerment, and the good news of retaining employees, which impacts performance. Because if it just, every time you got to train a new person, you kind of lose steam here until they come up to steam. So this is really important here. So if you need to know more and would like to talk with me, even now, please call or text me at 206-920-8067, or you can email me at support@newworldcom.com, or you can visit my website at www.newworldcom.com, then browse our suite of resources, our services, and go to our contact us page and request a complimentary Zoom call with you and key members of your leadership team. I would just love to learn more about listen to where you're at, to get on target, to gain focus, and to do some amazing things that we've been doing with our CEO, Dave. We've been doing this to model behavior for real world CEOs, as you might guess. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing this. This is a wonderful time to be alive and to work across generations of people, across genders of people, across communities of people, including communities of color and third world communities, and people on islands and people on different continents, and across all market sectors, across all nations, across the entire planet. So it's a big view, but we can do this, particularly if we do it together. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you.